Good morning, it's Saturday, up bright and breezy, and I'm off to see Mark today. This is his second on-site assessment I'm going to be doing with him. Hopefully we're doing something slightly different than the first one. I believe he's got some steel trunking, some conduit, etc. being installed in a garage. So hopefully we'll get to see some of the install and perhaps parts of the minor works as well in this presentation. So I finally arrived at site with Mark. It's always key, I think, that when you give me the postcode to the installation I'm turning up at, it actually matches the location. So I've just been to the other side of Northampton and back. Thanks, Mark.
That's all right,
That's really good. So there's another key point. Breakfast when I arrive, bacon sandwich, cup of tea, and the correct postcode is another good way forward. So what are we doing today then, Mark?
So we're putting in the steel trunking. We're adding 2 sockets. We've got to put in a fused Spur unit,
okay, which is here, yep,
which is rated at 13 milliamps. It's got a 13 amp fuse in it.
Why are we having to add an RCD onto these sockets?
We're having to add an RCD into these sockets because the consumer unit isn't protected by an RCD.
Oh, right, okay, brilliant. And it seems a little odd that we've gone for metal trunking, metal conduit in this installation. Can you explain why the customers asked for that?
So basically, we're going to be building a workshop, and this is basically the start of it. This has been put in place so that it can be extended further down the wall. Okay, that's fair enough. So it's a fair point. So we've come off an existing socket outlet. Did you prove that was on the ring final circuit? So this is on the ring final circuit.
Brilliant. Okay, and we're going to take
We're spurring off that into the RCD.
Yep.
Back out and then back into those.
Okay, so we're going to see Mark obviously wire this up for us. We're then going to go through the safe isolation procedure so we can make the final connections at the socket that is on the ring final circuit, and then me and Mark, whether we're on camera or not, we'll go on and do a minor works for that. Let's see that in action. Again, class, it's all about the paperwork. Mark has a fantastic set of paperwork, so we're looking at risk assessments, method statements, variation orders, we're looking at maximum demand and diversity calculations. We've got BS 7671 there, we've got a set of signs, first aid kit, a little bit of PPE on the table as well. What he's also done is he's found the risk assessments that he hadn't had before, so I'm asking you to repeat the same risk assessments. This time he's got risk assessments for things such as testing, using hand tools, etc. So Mark has plugged his plug-in voltage indicator in the upstairs ring final circuit just to prove it works, and 2 green lights on this test to suggest it works. We're also going to prove the circuit downstairs using our GS38 test probes and proving unit, but we're going to use a plug-in voltage indicator first. So what are you going to do now with your plug-in voltage indicator, Mark?
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug this in, check that this is working, this socket.
Is it on and live? You've got 2 green lights?
This is on live, it's took 2 green lights.
What would you like me to do?
I'd like you to switch off the breaker, please.
Okay.
So so now we've worked out that is the right circuit. We're going to now isolate. We're going to use a locking off kit to make sure that is locked off safe. And we're going to go into the back of this with my voltage tester and check it's dead.
Before you use that voltage tester, are you going to do anything with it?
I'm going to use the proving unit to prove that it's working, and I'm going to check here to make sure it's dead, and then I'm going to test the voltage tester again after.
Brilliant. That's great, Mark. So Mark's fitting the locking off device. We've locked off the circuit now, but of course we need to secure that with a padlock of some sort and a sign. Okay, so locked off the circuit breaker that we're working on. We believe it's dead because we used the plug-in voltage indicator, but we're still going to prove the back of the socket using our approved tester and our proving unit in the next stage. So you're going to prove the back of the socket now is dead using your approved voltage indicator. What are we going to do with it first?
I'm going to check it's working with the proving unit. Yeah, that's all good.
Okay.
So now I'm going to probe between line and neutral. I'm going to probe onto the neutral first, and then onto line, and that's dead. Then I'm going to probe onto the CPC and line.
Okay.
And CPC first.
Which one are you coming off first? Line
off the line first.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do between CPC, I'm going on there first, and neutral. and come off neutral first and then CPC.
Brilliant. What are you going to do now?
Now I'm going to check that this is still working by proving it with a proving unit. Yeah, it's all good.
Are you happy now the circuit is dead and safe to work on?
Yeah, I'm happy now it's dead.
So what have you done, Mark, and what are you going to do now for me?
So I've isolated the board, and now I'm going to, before doing anything else, I'm going to check the supply authority's polarity.
Okay, let's do that then.
So I'm going to probe onto the neutral first, and then onto line, and then offline, off neutral, and then I'm going to probe onto CPC or earth bar, onto line, and then off, and then I'm going to probe onto CPC or earth bar and neutral, and then off.
So what is that confirmed?
That's confirmed that the line is in the right place and the neutral is in the right place.
Thank you very much. So what are you going to do now for me, Mark?
I'm now just going to prove that the main switch has isolated the board.
Okay, let's do that.
So I'm probing onto the neutral bar and onto the line bar, and then I'm going to probe onto the earth bar and onto the line bar, and I'm going to probe onto the earth bar and the neutral bar.
And what have you proved there?
And now I've proved that all the circuits are dead in the board.
So what stage are we at now, Mark?
So I've checked the voltage tester is working by using the proving unit. I've done my continuity of CPC and continuity of protective bonding, and now I'm going to go on to my insulation resistance test on the circuit.
Thank you. So what we're going to carry out now?
So we're now doing insulation resistance.
What voltage are you going to pass through the circuit?
So I'm going to put 500 volts through it.
Is that AC or DC?
It's DC.
Smallest acceptable value of insulation resistance, Mark?
The smallest value is 1 mega ohm.
Okay, and would we expect to do further investigation at what level?
2 mega ohm.
And what's mega stand for?
Million.
Good, let's see you do that test.
So I'm going to put the crocodile clip onto there, onto the line, and then I'm going to probe onto the CPC and hold down.
What reading have you got?
And I've got 45.
Okay, yeah, 45 watt.
45 mega ohms.
Okay, and now you can test between?
I'm going to test between the neutral and CPC.
Good.
I've got 52 mega ohms.
Okay, brilliant. Which conductors are we not going to test between?
We're not going to test between line and neutral.
Good. Why are we not testing between live conductors this time?
Because we don't want to put 500 volts through anything that we're not sure if it's unplugged.
Okay, and which area of the house are we worried about at the moment?
About the kitchen.
We've got a lot of appliances under there that we can't guarantee are turned off, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So what test are you now going to carry out for me, Mark?
I'm going to do the earth fault loop impedance.
Okay,
test.
Can you set your instrument up for me? I know we've tested the first socket, we've done these, but show us what you're setting your instrument to,
I'm going to set it to LPE, and it's on Z.
Okay, brilliant.
On there,
and are you testing it, it says there, on 3 lead low, is that true?
This is on 3 lead low.
Okay, why is that? Why are you using 3
I'm
lead low?
using 3 lead low because we've got an Rcd in.
Okay, brilliant.
So we need to do it that way. This is going to take a little while.
Okay. What's the maximum value this can be for a 32 amp type B circuit breaker?
This is 1.1 ohms.
Okay, so we hope this reading is lower than 1.1 ohms, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
And it's still taking an eternity. Smile to the camera. What have we got?
We've got 0.66.
And of the readings we've taken so far, which we've done the other ones, is that the highest reading?
That is the highest reading, actually, yeah.
Are we going to record that reading?
And this is the reading we're going to record.
Okay, thank you very much. So Mark, what are you going to do now for me?
I'm going to do the Rcd test.
Good, can you set your test instrument up for us?
Yeah, we're going to switch it on to half times.
Okay.
And then 30 milliamps.
Okay, brilliant. What angle are we in?
We're going to go 0
okay.
degrees.
What do you expect to happen when you do this test?
I expect nothing to happen on this test.
Okay, let's see that then.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Good reading. I'm going to change the degree to 180.
Okay, brilliant. And what do you expect to happen this time?
Nothing to happen.
Why are you checking it at 15 milliamps when it's a 30 milliamp RCD?
Checking it for nuisance tripping.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay, so I've done that. Now I'm going to change it to 1 times.
Okay. So that's 30 milliamps being passed through at 0 degrees. Do you agree?
Yeah.
What's the maximum time the RCD should trip within?
This should trip within 300 milliseconds.
Let's see what it does.
And it's exactly 9.
Oh wow, that's quick.
Then we're going to change the degree.
And reset the RCD, yeah?
And we're going to check.
You're going to reset the RCD?
Sorry, reset the RCD.
Okay, excellent.
Check again.
And that's at 180?
180, yeah.
And you've got?
9.11.
Of the two readings, which one would you record?
Record the highest reading.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Okay, reset the RCD.
Brilliant.
Then I'm going to go to 5 times.
Okay, and now what is the maximum disconnection time?
Maximum disconnection time is 40 milliseconds.
Okay, let's see what we get.
So I'm going to, there we go, 9.01.
Okay.
Reset the RCD, change it to 180 degrees.
Brilliant.
And then test again. 9.11.
Of those two readings, which one will we record?
Record the highest reading of those two.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to thank Mark for inviting me along to have a look at this for part of his domestic installers and being brave enough to allow me to record it. I know all those people out there now will be chipping in with their opinions of what was going on today. Remember, I've been here over 6 hours. You've seen a sample of the work that's been carried out by Mark, and I've only recorded a sample of the things that we've been doing. So Mark, how do you think it went?
I think it went really well.
Yeah, we got something out of that, didn't we? Yeah, so
pretty good.
He's got his OCU shortly, so he's going to have to go through all the tests with me, both in the workshop and in the real world. I'm coming out to a consumer unit changer in the process of looking at you.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we hope this video has been some help